Life solutions to America's complex issues. Sound like an impossible task? Well, it's not. There's something new, honesty in reporting, something exciting, something that is cutting edge. Fighting Back is a Hub Radio production that takes a deep dive into the murky world of unbridled state, local, national, and international political intrigue. And of course, Fighting Back also has a softer side. Tune in every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Google Hub Radio Phoenix, click on the link, and then click on Video Live to be inspired by new perspectives on daily issues. Fighting Back, clarifying the confusion of 21st century mayhem.
Hey everybody, Pasta Jardula from the Combo Couch, and when I'm in Phoenix, I listen to Hub Radio Phoenix.
Pasta, you know you can listen to them anywhere. They're on the internet.
Hub Radio Phoenix is awesome. Only my second favorite show to the Combo Couch.
Hi, I'm Marta Llamas and I own a commercial cleaning company. Now that many people will be getting back to work, let's get your facility ready for them with our total disinfecting, wipe down, and fogging procedures. Our two-step process will help you ensure that your offices are safe. Call me today for a free estimate, and together we can help protect your employees. Thank you, and let's continue to stay safe.
Hello, Arizona. This is State Senate candidate Anthony Kern, District 20. And when I'm out fighting the woke culture in Arizona, I like to listen to the truth, I like to listen to the real scoop, and therefore I listen to Hub Radio Phoenix, and you should too.
Do you have a face for radio? I know I do. And when I found how easy it was to get started in an interesting, informative radio program, I jumped at the chance. Since AM radio program is being replaced by podcasting, you can even create your own programming from your home. Hi, I'm Ron Lutters, better known as Uncle Ronnie on my Fighting Back radio program. If you have a business, a hobby, or a passion and you would like to share that with others, then podcasting may be for you. With strong desire, some talent, and a deep passion, you too could get your radio message on your very own radio programming on Hub Radio Phoenix Network. We have one of the best broadcast engineers in Arizona to help you every step of the way. If you are interested in the enjoyment of podcasting, call me at 602-677-1496 to discuss the effective and affordable way to own your very own radio program. That's 602-677-1496.
Welcome to Fighting Back, news talk, current events, and political commentary. Now here's your host of Fighting Back, Ron Lutters.
I saw a couple of people didn't applaud. What's with this?
I think you like the applause, Ron.
I do. Thanks, Mom. Hey, listen, welcome to the show tonight. It's Wednesday, and it's a beautiful 113-degree day here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, it's very mild. It's temperate.
Mild temperatures, balmy, and, it's just one of those days you'd kind of like to...
It's a dry 312.
It's a dry heat, so it's like... Those of you that wonder what a dry heat is, especially those of you that are on the East Coast or somewhere other than Phoenix, turn on your oven and stick your head in it for 15 minutes. That's a dry heat.
Feels like someone's chasing you around with a hairdryer.
At any rate, we're here and you're not. But at any rate, we have Ray Michaels.
Hello, everyone.
And, of course, our correspondent, Josh Bernstein.
From JoshBernsteinUncensored.com.
And that was a paid political announcement. No, it wasn't paid.
No.
Why aren't you paying us?
I don't,
At any rate, thank you for joining us. A couple of things I want to tell you real quick. Lots going on in Phoenix. Those of you that are watching on Hub Radio Phoenix, I'd like you to share what you're watching. I'd like you to like what you're watching. And above all, push that button that says follow. And we really want you to do that. And those of you that are in other parts of the country, those of you that are in Texas and California and the rest of the world, especially in the East Coast through Wimkin.com, we'd appreciate you watching. And so pass these messages on because we're gonna hit some really dynamite things here. And we're going to start out with a number of things that everybody's always asking. And that is what is going on with the Arizona state audit. America's audit, Ray.
That's right. It is America's audit.
And there's been so many things going on. And I listen to the news, and I'm thinking, can anybody get this right? It seems like every time I turn on, well, I don't even watch CNN.
You know, the morning circus, though, I mean, you got to give James T. credit because he does give us some of the information that mainstream media doesn't.
And they skip it. But tonight we have Mr. Bernstein is going to tell us some of the information. And there's so much going on here that I think it'll make your head swim. So those of you that have notes, take your notes, your pencils, paper, and get ready for some really exciting news. Josh, go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, I think we all know that the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors decided to defy the Arizona Senate once again and basically blew off their subpoena to testify and to obviously have the spunk logs, the access codes, the key codes, all of the different things that are still missing in order to complete the audit. And they blew them off completely, and of course, Dominion gave them the middle finger as well. So we do have some fighters in the Arizona Senate.
Do we ever? We've got some really tough,
We really
scrapping
do.
people.
The three amigos. You've got Sonny Borelli, you've got Wendy Rogers, and Kelly Townsend. And they are all doing magnificent work. They are all fighting to get election integrity, to get this audit done, and to find out and get to the bottom of what happened. And what happened as a result of the defiance from the MCBOS, you had the great...
Hold on, MCBOS.
Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, sorry. So Sonny Borelli has had enough, and he decided to send a criminal referral to Mark Brnovich, the Attorney General. Borelli put out this statement. Today I submitted a request for the Arizona Attorney General to investigate the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors for their failure to comply with subpoenas from the state Senate. The supervisors are acting as if they are above the law, and it is an insult to the citizens of the state of Arizona. President Fan has handled this process professionally, and she has tried to be diplomatic while dealing with the attacks and insults from the board, and this is enough. Enough is enough. The level of disrespect and contempt from the supervisors towards the Senate leadership and Arizona voters is appalling. Yesterday, the Board of Supervisors ignored the subpoena deadline and failed to provide the routers used in the November election. They failed to provide passwords and security keys required to access tabulation devices. They failed to provide the spunk logs and similar data. I respectfully request the Attorney General investigate this clear violation of the law. Arizonans expect no less. Now, that was from the Majority Whip, Sonny Borelli. Folks, write down this number, put it on speed dial, because we're going to have to put a lot of pressure on the Attorney General, Mark Brnovich.
And by the way, I wanted to point out, Mark Brnovich is running for United States Senator.
He is.
So, here's the gig. If he doesn't do this, do you think he has a chance of winning the seat?
Not at all.
I would
Not
think
at all.
that Mark, we love you to pieces. You've done some really great things in your tenure, but don't miss out on this. Go after these guys because the people are asking for it. No, the people are demanding it, right?
We are demanding it.
And you know what? It is we the people. I mean, it is us making the decisions. They work for us.
Exactly.
If they're not
America's
doing what
audit.
if they're not doing their job as we elected them to do, then they need to be removed.
Exactly.
And the Attorney General as well needs to go out there and fight on behalf of the citizens of the state.
And Ray, we had some a remarkable group of people here on Monday night. We had Josh Barnett, who is quite a grassroots advocate himself. Then we
Who's going to be running for Congress.
He's running
as well.
for Congress, and then the guy that really is very articulate just kind of went right by me. I was trying to keep up with him. He was moving so fast, and that was David Jose.
Yes.
And wow, did he come up with some things? And those of you that missed it, Mr. DeSanti, it's up where on YouTube. You need to see that, and you're probably not going to be able to stay on top of it. Move so fast
because of Monday night. I no longer consider Ron Lutters a person. Yeah, he's not a person.
A private citizen, rather.
He
I
is
am a private citizen, and not a person.
Yeah.
Because that has legal implications in
It
the law
does.
if you're a person
And words
or a private
matter.
resident.
Josh, words matter.
They certainly do. They certainly do. And Mark Brnovich, at this point, is full of words and no action. So he has signaled that he believes in election integrity. He has made mentions on social media that he wants to get to the bottom of it and that nobody's above the law. But there hasn't been any action yet. So, Mark Brnovich, you need to
And it's time.
get engaged in this
It
process.
is definitely time.
When did he receive this? When did his office actually receive this?
I would have said probably yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
All right.
I would say yesterday
All
or the
right.
day before. So 602-542-5025. 602-542-5025. I would call the office and tell them to hold the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors criminally responsible for what they have done.
In
which is completely illegal.
one of our little cute little phrases is liberty through action, ladies and gentlemen. Do not expect to keep your liberty if you're unable or unwilling to take the responsibility of saving the liberties that you have in this wonderful, beautiful land we call the United States of America.
And do you remember one of our founding fathers, give me liberty or give me death?
Absolutely.
Because living without liberty is death.
There's death.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. When I was still on social media before the election, I had T-shirts and hats made up that said the choice is clear for 2020, Trump or death. And of course, I was attacked viciously by the left. But what I meant by that is death of liberty, death of freedom, death of prosperity, death of privacy, death of the First Amendment, death of the Second Amendment. Everything was on the line in this election, and now, unfortunately, we are living through this this nightmare.
Josh,
but we're still fighting back.
Josh, they do like to pick on you.
They do a little bit, just a little bit,
Tell,
just a hair.
tell the audience about what happened to you in the last 12 months.
Oh my goodness, where do we even begin? Obviously, as an investigative journalist, I've covered lots of different things. I've uncovered lots of different things. I've exposed lots of organizations, lots of people. So let's just say that not everybody is on the Hanukkah list or the Christmas list each year. Okay, so I've had lots of threats. I've had lots of censorship, obviously, and it kind of all came to a head in October of 2020, where they removed me from social media because I was actually showing the vote flips live on television on CNN with Russell Ramsland and Allied Security. And he was doing an interview, and in real time, you could see the votes switching. This was the Kentucky governor's race with Andy Beshear and Matt Bevin.
And that
By
was
the way,
in
Matt Bevin
2018,
won
I believe.
that race and should have never conceded because they stole that from him.
Well,
without
you
no
actually
doubt about
saw
it.
the tally of votes.
Yes,
and
switching.
then they would go to another camera shot, and they'd come back, and the votes were missing.
That is correct. Or what they were doing is they were taking the exact amount. I think it was like 560 votes, and they were removing it from one candidate and putting it on the other. And they were doing it in a split second, and that was happening right there. And when I put that video out, it probably had 200,000 views on it. I got a strike on my channel. And then after that, I covered the Little Mogadishu, the St. Paul, Minnesota ballot harvesting scheme with Ilhan Omar, or her real name, Ilhan Nuar Saeed Elmi. And from there, that was the end of that because I was exposing everything that was going to be happening 2 weeks later. And when I did that, that was a bridge too far. So they threw me off of social media. And now I have JoshBernsteinUncensored.com. You can go there. You can subscribe to the website. You'll get content that you don't get other places. You get lots of breaking news, and more importantly, things that are banned on social media. I play all the time on the website.
Now, Josh, you just had an interview online. I had an opportunity to watch it. Tell us about this because you went into a lot of detail, a lot of things, not only the election here, but you went into Ilhan Omar and her background, and everybody thinks that, she was this victim.
Yeah.
You went into
She's
a lot
no
of stuff.
victim.
Tell us about the interview because it was fantastic.
I was on the Pete Santilli show. Great patriot, good guy. We've never really crossed paths throughout the years, surprisingly, but he's been an admirer of me, and I've been an admirer of him, and this was the first time we got together to do a show. And we had a great time. It was about a 30-minute interview. It was wide-ranging. Of course, we talked about Arizona, the Arizona audit. We talked about everything that's going on here. But we did touch on some of those things that you just brought up. And, the story on Ilhan Omar is that she came to America for a, quote, better life.
A refugee.
Right, a refugee.
Right?
She was escaping violence, and she wanted a better life in America. That's not really the truth, okay? First of all, her real name is Ilhan Noor Saeed Elmi. She's the daughter of Muhammad Noor. Muhammad Noor was the propaganda minister for the former dictator in Somalia, Saeed Bayar. Now, if you don't know about St. Paul, Minnesota, it is the largest Somali Muslim population in the entire world, other than the country of Somalia. And it's right here in the United States, in the state of Minnesota. And so I was covering the ballot harvesting scam that was going on at that time that James O'Keefe was uncovering. And, the bottom line is they had to leave Minnesota. The Omars, again, they used the Omar name, which was a wealthy family in a compound in Mogadishu. I don't know if they paid them off, however, they stole it, whatever they did, but they got the name. Then they lied on the N-400 immigration forms, which when they had to be asked the question, are you or have you been close to any authoritarian regime? Well, obviously her father was, again, the propaganda minister for the former dictator, so they lied to come here. So the bottom line is they didn't come here to escape war-torn Somalia. They were war-torn Somalia. And because of that, if they didn't leave the country, they would have been executed. And that's the truth. So that's the entire story on her. We talked about that. We talked a lot about, of course, the audit and everything that's been happening so far, and that we're just not going to quit. We're going to continue to fight, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. And a lot of people are, feeling the exact same way.
And we should thank Senator Wendy Rogers for recommending you.
Wendy
to go
Rogers
on the show.
is an incredible patriot, a close friend, and
we
a
have
fighter.
We have a break coming up. You're listening to Hub Radio Phoenix, and we're interviewing Josh Bernstein, our correspondent. And when we come back, we've got a gentleman on the phone. We're going to talk and invite him in. We're going to talk with a four-way conversation here, and then at the half an hour, we're going to talk to Mr. Roger Landry. And no, he was not the coach of the Dallas
Landry.
Cowboys.
Tom Landry, right?
And does he own the steakhouse too, Landry?
Yeah, he has a steakhouse,
right.
and he
I
was a
forgot
coach
about
of the Packers, was it? Okay. At any rate, we'll see you on the other side. Do not go away. We'll be right back. Located in downtown Phoenix, the Colden Law Group specializes in business and election law, civil and political litigation, as well as evictions and special actions. Call them today at 602-730-2985. That's 602-730-2985.
Hi, I'm Marta Llamas in Iona Commercial Cleaning Company. Now that many people will be getting back to work, let's get your facility ready for them with our total disinfecting, wipe down, and fogging procedures. Our two-step process will help you ensure that your offices are safe. Call me today for a free estimate, and together we can help protect your employees. Thank you, and let's continue to stay safe.
Are you tired of the long lines and impersonal service you get at the post office? Well, we have a solution for you. Pack Mail is an all-in-one mail center conveniently located in the Fry Shopping Center at 3218 East Bell Road, right here in Phoenix. Owned and operated by Arizona residents Mark and Vicky Battaglia, you can be sure of getting personalized professional service. They will pack, crate, freight, and ship your items anywhere in the world. They work with all the major carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS, and Federal Express. Need an address for your home business or startup company? They have P.O. Box Box is on site where you can receive and pick up your mail anytime, and their knowledgeable and courteous staff will find a way to ship that awkward or heavy item. You can even have your packages picked up and delivered for a small fee. Their motto is, if you can imagine it, we can ship it. Drop in on the good folks at Pack Mail and let them do the work for you. Pack Mail can be reached at 602-971-2300 or email at info@weshipphoenix.com. That's Pack Mail, 602-971-2300 or info@weshipphoenix.com.
This is Peter Martin, financial advisor in the Phoenix metropolitan area. When I seek the truth about what's going on in the world, I listen to Hub Radio Phoenix.
Hi everybody, I'm Michael Morrison with Hub Radio Phoenix. If you're looking for secure news, the truth and nothing but the truth, you found it right here at Hub Radio Phoenix.
You're watching Fighting Back, news talk, current events, and political commentary with host Ron Letters. Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. And we've got, I got a little bit of news here. One, before we go into this, I wanted to thank you all. We're not only here in Phoenix, but we're around the world. And we have numbers since June 7th, Ray. We have had 3,242,907 views of our programs on Hub Radio.
But who's really counting?
That is amazing. And one of the people that we have that is watching is online. It's Roger Landry of the Dallas Cowboys. No, not the Dallas Cowboys. He is with TLBtalk.com.
Stands for Truth, Liberty, and Balance.
Right. Welcome to the show, Roger.
Hello. How are you?
Well, we're doing fine. We're sitting here in 113 degrees outside in our shirt sleeves.
It's hot.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Look, I'm one of those people who has lived as far south as Hawaii and also Key West.
Ooh, we have a breaking news story.
North.
Hold on. We have a breaking news story, Roger. Just a moment. Josh, you want to tell us that breaking news?
Well, I could. It was going to be a joke, but I will say this: it's not a joke. It's sick. I thought this was, something from The Onion, but it's not.
This is horrible. Horrible.
A girl who was touched by creepy Joe Biden on camera confirms that he groped her and pinched her nipples when she was 8 years old. You may have seen the video of a more cognitively aware Dementia Joe back in the day, and there was an 8-year-old girl. It turns out it was the niece of Senator Steve Daniels. And he's touching her shoulder, he's touching her head.
Smelling her hair.
Yeah, and he sneaks his hand down to her breasts. An 8-year-old child. And if we know Tara Reid and all the other women that have come forward of sexual abuse and everything else, well, Circle Back Around today was asked about it, and apparently she wanted to circle back around because she was upset, and she said, oh, that doesn't matter with what we're talking about right now. Then she turns around and blames the craziness at the border on President Trump.
Now,
Unbelievable.
There were some Democrats who left the state of Texas, went to Washington, D.C., and now they're missing. 2 are missing.
Yes, it's believed that they are in Portugal on vacation. So I don't see how you can serve your constituents on a beach.
So they're not really missing, unless they're missing on purpose.
They're missing on purpose. Okay.
Well, back to Roger when when some of that story broke, and I find it rather strange that the president, the Pino president in name only, is in fact once again being questioned about his proclivity for little children, and now we have Governor Cuomo, and he's got at least 11 women that are saying he has groped them, and of course he refuses to resign.
Well, it brings up the Bible verse, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." He is telling the governor of New York, "Oh, I think he should resign because there's so many people coming forward." Does that mean that he believes that he also should resign because so many people are coming forward?
It's true. Roger, we got you on the line. We've got a couple more stories here, I think, from Josh. But what I'd like to ask you to do is we'll invite you in as Josh finishes up one or two of his stories. And please feel free to comment.
Okay. So as we talked about the three amigos, the great patriots in the Arizona Senate, Sonny Borrelli, Wendy Rogers, and Kelly Townsend. So let's talk about the last one. Let's talk about Kelly Townsend. She understands what's at stake here. She is a patriot, she is a fighter, and she is getting to the bottom financially of what took place in 2020. She has actually called not for a forensic audit as far as ballots and tabulation machines and all that other stuff, but actually the money trail. Show us the money. She has called for the Arizona Auditor General to do an investigation into the $3 million of Zuckerbucks that were spent in Arizona that helped get us to the position that we are in right now. And so Arizona Revised Statutes 41-1279.04 provides the Auditor General the authority to examine any and all financial records in the 2020 election. So this is amazing, amazing news. This is great news. These are some of the questions that Kelly is wanting answers to. Private monies and grant monies received and spent by the Secretary of State's office, and what organizations or individuals supplied them. How were these grants used to educate voters, especially early ballot voters? What amounts of these grants were spent on get out the vote activities, hiring of election workers, and how much was used to purchase equipment, and from where was that equipment purchased? Details on recruitment and hiring practices of the Secretary of State's office. What was the criteria for selection of these workers, and where were these workers hired from? So this is a huge development as we have the Arizona forensic audit of the ballots and the machines and all the things that we're doing. We now have another audit that's going to be taking place on the almighty.
And this, I believe,
dollar.
is the Auditor General of
Correct.
Arizona. And
Lindsay
I
Perry.
have been a part of that audit. I belonged to the Auditor General. Roger, are you there? Roger?
Hello.
Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Are you getting this story out by you? You're 2 hours difference from us. Have you heard this story as breaking news?
No, and actually, I've been working on several other things, so I've been kind of buried in things since midday.
My point exactly. No, you haven't heard it because the mainstream media isn't talking about it. But I thought perhaps you might have heard a little bit of a rumor, but no, the mainstream media is not covering these events.
No.
And these are huge when the Auditor General gets involved, because that means that there's a possibility there's some criminal activity.
Now, Ron, tell us a little bit, because you're an auditor as well. So the Auditor General, is this an elected office? Is it selected by who?
No.
Is it a group? Is it an organization?
It's very interesting, because when people think of the government, the bureaucracy, they think everything belongs to the executive branch. This is not the case in the Auditor General. The Auditor General reports directly to the legislature. They're the one that make the selection. The governor can make the announcement, this is who I would like, and it's an advice and consent thing. And it can be very powerful. This is a very powerful position. It's not used very often, Ray.
So
it should be in this case.
They're selected by the state legislature.
Yes, and they report to the state legislature. And, of course, who's the state legislature? We have the two leaders, one in the House, Rusty Bowers, and then we have Karen Fann, President of the Senate. They report to these people. They're not reporting to the Senate and the legislature as a whole, but rather through these people as the leadership. Yes.
Yeah. So, Roger, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. So, TLBtalk.com. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
All right. Look, I I've sat here and listened to some really, really good news coming out of you guys. And I have listened to it with the understanding that this type of news, the type of news that Josh does, the type of news that you guys report, I don't know, if we strayed into the realm of maybe even vaccines and things like that, all right? Basically, what everybody is talking about here are things that are critical for each and every one of us. But if we take this football and we run it on social media, gee, Josh, what happens? Okay.
Yeah, we know exactly what would happen.
I've made my point, all right? What is TLV Talk? TLV Talk is a place to go and talk, all right? A place to go and learn. These are the two key words that you need to take away. It's a brand new social media platform that we launched on the 4th of July. And no, we didn't have 9 million people waiting at the front door the day we did it, simply because we didn't want it to crash like Mike Lindell's did. What we are doing is we're taking in a metered amount of people, a consistently increasing number every day, improving this platform as we go. But the point is, you guys do such a great job of putting the news out. You really do, okay? But if you want to do this in a social media platform, big tech is literally going to shut you down.
Exactly.
There are 35,000 people on the TLV Facebook page. 35,000. We get maybe 10, 15 likes on something over the course of a day. We used to have 20,000 people seeing something over the course of a day. Now we're lucky if 15 or 20 see the same thing. It's not because our news is any less there. It's because our visibility is less there. What is TLV Talk? It's a place for you to go where you can discuss the things you know, but just as important, to learn the things they don't want you to learn. I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to shut up for a second. Listen to me, because this is the honest to God truth. What you have seen, either from the press secretaries or the assistant press secretary or from Nancy Pelosi or from Congress, is them screaming at big tech to shut you and me up. Yeah. Listen to what I just said. Mm-hmm. Our elected leaders are telling big tech to censor us. The people we elected to serve us are telling big tech to censor us. Has there ever been a bigger need for a platform that's going to allow you to say what you want to say? Why can we do that? For only one reason. We have no corporate money. Zero corporate dollars. You drop $5 in the bucket on your way in the door, we're going to give you a platform you can talk on. You can't commit illegal acts. If it's illegal outside, it has to be illegal inside.
Sure.
But I got to tell you something. There's a whole lot of different ways to say everything you want to say, and you have a First Amendment right to do it.
Exactly. Now, we've found several different, the Convo Couch, the Wimkin, and we've got the other one, the Digital Warriors. They're all small, but they're growing, and they're growing fast because Americans are really, really, dare I say, pissed off, and we ought to be. And if you're not pissed off, folks, you better get pissed off, because you're going to lose this great country and all the liberties that you have had and that millions and millions of people have fought for, including our guest. He was in the United States Navy, and thank you for your service, Roger.
Yes, thank you.
So, Roger,
I spent 30 years. I spent 30 years, and this is why I'm doing penance today. 30 years either in the nuclear submarine fleet or working for Raytheon as a defense contractor doing strictly DoD contracts, traveling across the planet 80% of every year for 30 years. Do I understand what's happening? Do I understand how this government works? It was beat into me for 30 years, and today, and for the past 10 years since I launched TLV, today I do my penance.
Right. So give us an idea. You go on the website, and then do you sign up for an account? Do you subscribe?
Yes.
Tell us how it works.
Yeah, you go, basically you go to TLV Talk. If you don't have an account, it's tlvtalk.com. If you don't have an account, you fill out. The only thing we ask you to do is verify your email. That's it. You sign up. You put an email down just like on any other account. They send you a code. You verify the code. You're in. End of story. And that's just to protect you as much as anything else. We do not data mine. End of story. We don't do it. We don't sell anything. Nothing. Zero. There is zero corporate money going in, zero corporate money going out. But everybody needs to understand, and so far it's been happening real nice. If you don't want to drop $5 in the bucket, 6 months from now we may be out of here. What we are seeing, though, from the general public is what they would like to have is a piece of the rock. What they would like to have is the knowledge in their own mind they did a little bit coming in the door. And what we are already doing is expanding the platform because of those $5 or $10. We even had one person drop $400 in the bucket on the way in.
Nice.
We are already expanding this platform. Now, look, there wasn't 10 million people standing outside the door when we launched. We didn't tell anybody we were going to launch. We don't have $1 million like the Pillow Man does to tell the world what we're going to do. We launched on July 4th, and we started taking people in.
What a great day to start this.
Yeah.
On the July 4th.
Exactly
what a great
right.
day.
So from the time that they sign in, they can just start uploading information, downloading information, sharing information.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
It's
They
a
can
clean
start a
looking
group.
site too. It's a really nice, clean looking
They can start
site.
a group. They can start a page. If anybody's on it, do me a favor. In the upper left-hand corner, there is a black logo. It is a lion, TLB Talk with a lion head. Put your mouse over that.
I found that out. I
Now,
put
can-
my mouse over it.
Now, can we stream directly onto that platform, Ron?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I will tell you, probably by the beginning of the new year, not only will you be able to do that, but let me tell you, what you're looking at is the funding mechanism for the rest of the suite. What is the rest of the suite? We're going to give you not only a Facebook replacement, we're going to give you a YouTube replacement, we're going to give you a Twitter replacement. Oh, yeah. This is all going to be, you will sign into one local panel, and from there you can go on any one of those apps you wish to go on. And by the way, Talk already has a Google app and both of the apps are there, the Android app too. But we're going to give you the complete suite. You will not have to go to YouTube and be banned. You will not have to go to Twitter and be twitted. You won't have to go to Facebook and be given a 30-day vacation.
And be phased.
All of these functions will be right there.
Yeah, just 2 days ago, I had one of those little. I've been banned from YouTube and all that, but I had a YouTube channel. See, I can't even get on YouTube. I actually have to open up an incognito window because they've blocked my my IP address, my phone, and my home. So if I ever want to even go on YouTube, I have to use an incognito window. Well, I have started, one or two little YouTube channels, not really to put content on, but just as an ant trail back to the website, because my home base is all on the website. Well, I put a video up that had to deal with election integrity, and not only did they take it down, but they took down the channel, and then they sent me an email saying that my content is a danger to the community. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And we got that too. We've had a couple of, especially when we have Mr. Martin on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, talking about COVID.
We always joke about that when we have him on. We always seem to get gigged.
Hey, I've known Josh for quite a while. I know Josh can be dangerous. You want to know why? Because I only hang around with people I like and I can relate to.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'm sitting kind of.
you were
I'm sitting kind of close to him. I didn't realize he was a dangerous guy.
Roger, you were mentioning the pillow guy, Mike Lindell. He did. I think his Frank speech crashed a few times because so many people wanted to be on there.
Yes.
But he is coming up with a cyber symposium. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something else about this guy, okay? You guys have all talked about a little bit of tyranny here. Let me plug something in because, again, Roger has written over 2,400 articles and done massive amounts of research over the last 12 years. This is my penance, okay? This guy has a video recording of damn near every single voting machine on voting night showing the actual tallies, whether they're going up, going down, being switched over. Not only that, but an IP address for every outside source that connected to every voting machine in this country. He has this all on video. Why doesn't the whole world know about this?
Right.
Now, who has this?
This is Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell has this?
So the Cyber
He
Symposium.
actually has a video out showing it.
Well, I've seen some of his videos,
And,
yes.
and also, there's the story from Code Monkey that was on the Gateway Pundit, where they said that this is just 1% of what they have, and they showed video that showed that they were logged in to the internet during the election.
Yeah,
So
there's
no
a lot of
question it happened.
theories of why we are now months and months away from the actual election, months away from January 6th, and why didn't they put this out sooner? I'm sure there's a lot of theories about why, but the CCP comes up quite a few times when it comes down to why hasn't things been released.
Yes.
Well, Roger, we may have a little breaking news here for you. We broke this last week, although it's not necessarily new, but there's a guy named Sellers, Jack Sellers, and he's the chairman. Well, we're going to take a break here, but he's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Maricopa County, and we have some news here that he actually took a trip to China with the number 2 CCP guy, and the thing about it is here he was over there. And we're trying to figure out, why would a Maricopa County member of the Board of Supervisors be, and this was paid for by the Confucius Institute, which is a known CCP organization. The United States Senate has done some work with them, and they've been on the school campuses here, and even Arizona State University has thrown them off.
Neil, do we still have that photo?
Hey, so why would California buy $100 million worth of Chinese masks and pay for them and never ever receive the masks?
Well, there we are.
You want to know how many other states did that?
On the screen, Roger, we have the chairman of the board of the Maricopa County.
Shanghai Jack.
Shanghai Jack. His name is on the screen behind here, and this was March 14th, 2019. Jack Sellers. And this guy here is supposedly one of the head muckety-mucks of the CCP that he's shaking hands with. We want to know why he was there. We've not had an explanation as to why he was there. And
I can give you.
Now, it says something about friendship.
Yeah, friendship.
We want to be friends.
And Ray, do you realize that a few months later that the Board of Supervisors then accepted Dominion Equipment, which we already know was also a $400,000 million infusion into Dominion was made by the CCP.
And did they verify that the CCP actually bought a lot of Dominion as the company back in October?
It was a front company. It was a front company.
Right.
But I can tell you why Jack Sellers, or Shanghai Jack, and what a great name, Sellers, huh? For someone that's selling out America, Sellers.
He's a sellout.
So he's a pro-China, open borders, globalist, Trump hater. Okay, and we know that the CCP obviously hated President Trump. I mean, he stopped them from currency manipulation. He stopped them from the trade imbalances. He stopped them from doing so many other things that they were doing.
Well, from
and
taking advantage of the United States.
Yeah, and they rewarded us with the Kung Flu.
But hey, can I throw something in here, because you guys are doing such a sterling job? Let me throw in here Hunter Biden's laptop, and let me explain to you real quick why I am. That laptop alone is a reason why Joe Biden didn't even qualify to become president. The amount of pressure that the Chinese can put on both Joe Biden himself, and the U.S. intelligence services, such as the FBI and the CIA, the pressure they can put on Biden absolutely makes him unsuited to ever sit in the presidential office.
Vulnerable.
That was also brought up prior to the election, but nobody listened. He wasn't qualified to be elected president.
I think Tucker Carlson was probably one of the few people that covered that story.
Isn't it interesting that Hillary Clinton?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Hillary Clinton was also compromised from her email. So you had two Democrat nominees completely compromised by our enemies that were running for president. And again, one of them being under investigation, and there should have been two, obviously. But Sellers has been to China multiple times, not just that one time, as a matter of fact. And Sellers is also a member of the International Leadership Council for GPEC. What is GPEC? GPEC is the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. Now, the Greater
Formerly
Phoenix...
the Phoenix 40.
Right, and on its surface, it doesn't sound like a bad organization. I mean, you've got a lot of big companies that support it and fund it, from APS, SRP, the Phoenix Suns, the Coyotes, the Cardinals, major mainstream players here in the Phoenix business world here. But it does have a sinister side. And GPEC in and of itself has appointed Sellers, who's a board of director member, as their point person on cultivating relationships, foreign investments, ingenuity, and technology to bring that information, those jobs, that technology into the valley, and in particular, Maricopa County. So if you know that that's the case, he's been with the CCP. We just showed you images and pictures of the vice president of their Commerce Committee shaking his hand, but he's also been the point person, as I said, for GPEC, and it gets worse than that. Have you ever heard of the Sisters Cities program? He's the vice president of the Sisters City program. And what that is basically you have a city in the United States of America. It doesn't have to be in Arizona. It can be anywhere. And then they have a sister city in another country, whether it be Germany or Denmark or Australia or whatever it may be. Well, here in Arizona, over 50% of all the sister cities are in China. Scottsdale, Haikou, China. Gilbert, Leshan, China. Tempe, Xinjiang, China. Mesa, Kaiping, China. And Phoenix, Chengdu, China. So if you look at the investors, the foreign investors, and everything that he has, you have to ask yourself this question. Why is someone that's in charge of Maricopa County's elections traveling to China, and what did he promise the Chinese and the communists there to come back here and fight so damn hard for election integrity?
And then why
what
did
exactly is he
Josh,
hiding?
Josh, you hit another home run, okay? But what you got to do is take it just a little bit beyond that. This is happening all across the United States. They are the biggest landowners outside of someone like Bill Gates, okay?
Right.
That's a whole different story.
Farmer Gates.
There are people who are under their influence in so many universities, the government is threatening to go in and clean them out. The influence to CCP and the Chinese Communist Party has in the United States at this point in time would have been considered treason 10, 20 years ago.
Yes. Exactly.
Now, one of the things,
right.
Roger, that was a real bummer for us was we're going to have to take a break here, but was the simple fact that the entire state of Texas had rejected the Dominion offers and equipment. And in Arizona, only one county, Maricopa County, selected Dominion. And in all of the state, the only problems that we have are pretty much Maricopa County with Dominion equipment.
Although we
And
should
where's
have
the
other
population?
counties.
Maricopa County.
And
Yeah,
we know that
60%.
Georgia, the entire state of Georgia, used Dominion equipment.
Yep.
Listen, we got to take a quick break here. Where you're watching Hub Radio Phoenix Fighting Back. Don't go away. We have Roger Landry on the phone, and of course our correspondent Josh Bernstein here in the studio, and Ray Makels and I are telling you, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Yes.
In a world where security matters more than ever, Lionheart Security Services stands head and shoulders above the competition. Whether it's airport security, high-rise residential and office security, event security, warehouse security, or even personal security, call the best of the best. Lionheart Security Services. We provide armed and unarmed officers. Our armed officers are held to the strictest standards of 90% accuracy, 20% higher than Arizona standards. When it comes to securing you, your goods and services. Call Lionheart Security Services 480-485-2304 or find them on the web at lionheartsecurityservices.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Morrison with Hub Radio Phoenix. If you're looking for secure news, the truth, and nothing but the truth, you found it right here at Hub Radio Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Martha Llamas in Iona Commercial Cleaning Company. Now that many people will be getting back to work, let's get your facility ready for them with our total disinfecting, wipe down, and fogging procedures. Our two-step process will help you ensure that your offices are safe. Call me today for a free estimate, and together we can help protect your employees. Thank you, and let's continue to stay safe.
The Culloden Law Group is famous for debt collection, but the attorneys there do a lot more. At Culloden, you're going to find attorneys who have built a solid reputation in the government relations sector and can provide you with a wide variety of legal options and strategies. Their experience in negotiations and settlements can assure you of their confidence in settling your case. The attorneys at the Culloden Law Group can work autonomously or as a team to take your case where it has to go to get the job done. With a measured approach and high levels of integrity and professionalism, they will work with you to bring about a settlement that's optimal and are here to serve. Call the Culloden Law Group today and put that stress behind you. The Culloden Law Group can be reached at 602-730-8385. That's Culloden Law Group at 602-730-8385. Thank you.
Are you tired of the long lines and impersonal service you get at the post office? Well, we have a solution for you. Pack Mail is an all-in-one mail center conveniently located in the Fry Shopping Center at 3218 East Bell Road, right here in Phoenix. Owned and operated by Arizona residents Mark and Vicky Battaglia, you can be sure of getting personalized professional service. They will pack, crate, freight, and ship your items anywhere in the world. They work with all the major carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS, and Federal Express. Need an address for your home business or startup company? They have P.O. boxes on site where you can receive and pick up your mail anytime, and their knowledgeable and courteous staff will find a way to ship that awkward or heavy item. You can even have your packages picked up and delivered for a small fee. Their motto is, if you can imagine it, we can ship it. Drop in on the good folks at Pack Mail and let them do the work for you. Pack Mail can be reached at 602-971-2300 or email at info@weshipphoenix.com. That's Pack Mail, 602-971-2300 or info@weshipphoenix.com.
I'm Senator Sonny Borelli, and when I come to Phoenix, I always want to be informed, so I tune into Hub Radio Phoenix. You want to be informed? I suggest you do the same. Make sure you tune in.
You're watching Fighting Back, news talk, current events, and political commentary with host Ron Lutters. Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. We appreciate you sticking around for Hub Radio. We're almost at the end of the line here for tonight. And, of course, we have on the line Roger Landry. And we're excited. He's served us in the United States Navy, and he is still serving us, because the one thing when you take an oath of office to protect and defend the United States Constitution, there is no time limit on that, ladies and gentlemen. That means the rest of your life you will defend that document because it is looking out after our interests.
You know, speaking of that document, it says specifically that the state legislature is in charge of their own elections in the state. But we seem to have an Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who thinks that the federal
That's the
government...
United States Attorney General, not the state of Arizona Attorney General.
He seemed to think that as the federal government, that he can sick the DOJ on to the states, and he is threatening them. Josh, tell us about that story.
Well, first and foremost, for anyone that may be a legislature that is contemplating doing one of these forensic audits, if you're in any state, Georgia, Florida, Texas, because I know that they're looking at doing the 5 most populated counties, Of course, Wisconsin is starting to heat up. Georgia is in the process. If we could get Michigan to get on the board, of course, Pennsylvania is starting to heat up. Don't be afraid of the Department of Injustice. You know why? Because they can't stop you.
No.
And they have no power. And by the way, who are the people and what branch created the federal government? The state governments.
Yeah.
Okay? So they are subservient to the state governments. So Merrick Garland can shove it. He can send whatever threatening letter he wants. He can shove it because he doesn't have the plenary power and the constitutional authority to overstep a state's rights to conduct an election and an election audit. So for the folks out there in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and elsewhere, ignore the Department of Injustice 100%. Do your plenary power that you have in the constitutional authority that you've been given and get these forensic audits done. And don't worry about empty promises and empty threats from the Department of Injustice.
You know, I think what we've been seeing, especially with David Jose the other night, Ray, is that most of us don't know all of our rights.
Right.
And the people that are in office know that, and so they say things, and we think they know what they're. You know, I doubt that most people in the United States Congress, House and Senate, know the Constitution very well.
They may know portions of it, and they may be able to recite it, but do they understand it? That's the big thing.
I doubt it.
Because knowledge and wisdom are two completely different things.
Well, I used to have this great saying, and I'd like to start asking some people, especially Merrick Garland, do you understand what you know? Now, that seems like a silly question, doesn't it? Do you understand what you know? And I don't think they do.
Thank God he was blocked from the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a reason. I believe right now our resident-in-chief is running scared because they know the outcome when they start looking into and auditing these elections. They know what's going to happen, and they will fight tooth and nail to retain that residency in the White House. They're going to do whatever. They're going to say it's too late, you can't do anything about it. But we know, and Josh, you've mentioned this many times, there are a lot of ways.
There are a lot of ways.
Yeah, tell us again about a couple of different ways that we could go.
It honestly, it all depends on the states enacting these forensic kinematic audits, really. The only ones that can stop the state legislatures from performing their constitutional authority is themselves, are the state legislatures. So they cannot be afraid of the Department of Injustice. The reality is, if we can get Arizona completed and done, and we can get, as Wendy Rogers has rightfully pointed out, tell them to recall or decertify the election. Now you have taken those electors and you have parked those electors. Now never forget, there have been alternate electors selected in, I think it was 7 states to begin with, including New Mexico. So every state that is being contested has alternate electors. If we can get Georgia and Pennsylvania to do these forensic audits, they're going to show the same types of results, if not even worse, and they can then recall their electors. Now, if you can get those 3 states to do that, now nobody is over the 270 threshold. So what happens then? It goes to the House of Representatives, and no, not Nancy's house, the state houses, where they each get 1 vote. Now, even if you had a couple of rhinos, like for instance Michigan or Wisconsin, and they decided, even after seeing all the evidence, that they're still going to go with, you know, the Biden pretendency, you would still likely win in the House of Representatives, because I believe it's 30-21 right now, or 30-22. It's pretty close. So even if you lose 2, you're still going to eke out a victory. So that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it, and again, it all is predicated on getting these audits done. But if we got these audits done and they show the results that we know that they're going to show, then you can file what's known as a writ of quo warranto. A writ of quo warranto is a legal procedure that can be used to remove someone who's been fraudulently elected to office. So that is yet another way. And when Karen Fann said that there was
sorry,
no...
guys.
Huh?
I got to run.
You got to run?
I got to
Okay.
run, guys.
Okay,
Thanks for being on, Roger.
like to thank you, Roger, for being here. We'll talk soon. And thanks for
and thank you for the invite.
Thanks for
And
all
Roger,
you do. You're a real patriot, sir.
That's Roger from TLBTalk.com. Stop over there. A brand new format that you can freely talk without anybody shutting you down.
So let me just finish up where I was. So you can use that to remove someone who's been fraudulently elected. And as I was saying, Karen Fan said that there's never been historical or legal precedent before. That's not true. 1960 in Hawaii, the 1960 presidential election between JFK and Richard Nixon. At first, Richard Nixon came ahead 115 votes. There was a court-ordered recount. It turns out that JFK won the state of Hawaii by 141 votes. And guess what? They did change and pull back the electors. So there is historical precedent. It has been done.
Ron, you know, this is the brilliance of our founding fathers, because it's not, when you vote, you don't actually vote for the candidate, you vote in the presidential race.
And that's right. We are not a democracy.
Right.
We are a constitutional republic.
Right. So they're voting for the electors. You must reach a threshold of, you said, 270 electoral votes. If you get below that, then there isn't anybody elected,
Right.
and the Constitution states it must go back to the state legislatures.
Correct.
One vote for each state.
Correct. So
Exactly.
California gets one vote, New Jersey gets one vote, Arizona gets one vote, everybody gets one vote.
How about Rhode Island?
Rhode Island wouldn't even get one.
Hawaii?
Wouldn't even get one.
I think
they would all get one
I
vote.
think they get
So,
1/3 vote. It's
maybe,
just a small
perhaps.
state. Any rate,
But that's how it works.
You've
That's how
been
it
been
works.
watching
That's
Fighting
the
Back. Now I
brilliance.
want to promote the show tomorrow night. We have the Jay Lawrence show, and we got to have it. That's going to be a good one because we're going to have Mark Fincham on.
Right.
And
Awesome.
he's
Great
been
guy.
very involved with this with the audit, and he's running for Secretary of State. And then Monday's going to be a real Donnybrook because we have asked Jack Sellers to be a guest on this show, and then we've asked Senator Kelly Townsend, who is a real rough and tough gal. I'll tell you, we're not going to take any prisoners. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Josh Bernstein.
Yes.
Mr. Ray Michaels, thank you. And
Josh
we'd like to
Bernstein,
thank one time-
Uncensored.com.
There you go. And one more time, we'd like to thank Roger, and try his website. Give it a shot.
TLBTalk.com.
And do you remember what President Trump said when he was in town? Wendy Kelly Borelli.
Wendy
Kelly
Borelli. There
Borelli.
you go.
Yes. And so we'll see you Monday.